What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Yes, we're here with another video. If you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. My name is Dimitri Jackson. Make sure you give a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and let's get into today's video. So in today's video, you see from the title below and the thumbnail, I have like a lot of stories because when I was young, I was always like
adventurous and reckless and curious.
I'm gonna talk about how we're gonna talk about how I got arrested. This video is probably gonna be long, but not too long, so go grab yourself some food, popcorn, anything, and yeah. So this happened when I was 13 years old or 14 years old, around there. I was a freshman in high school. I remember till this day, I had a class that was like, it was like acting. That same day, I transferred to another classroom.
Like all this shit happened.
I don't know if I'm gonna say names, but
I probably will.
So my friend was gonna fight somebody. She was gonna fight like this girl. And she told me if I can stay with her after school.
I told her yes.
We're gonna say this girl's name is, her name is Jada. I don't even care. I'm not even gonna blur out the names. But her name is Jada. And she was gonna fight these two twins, like these two twins. I don't know why, but it was because like, you know how like girls are, like they be fighting for like dumb stuff. They were gonna fight after school. So I was kind of like friends with both of them because I knew Jada since I was like young, like in middle school. And the other two girls, they were like twins, and I knew them from my acting. But I was both friends with them.
The two twins didn't know that they were gonna get beat up by the girl.
So like I was like, I would say
kind of both sides, but
so I told Jada that I would go with her after school to just record, you know. So that's what I did. So, like the whole school knew. Like I don't know how they were trying to keep it a secret, and let's just say like the whole school knew. And everybody was like, after school, instead of going home, they were gonna go to the place where they were gonna fight. So where they were gonna fight was like, so our school's in the front, and in the back there's like a, it's not like an alley, but it's like you have to walk and it leads you out to like a back street. And further on, like down the street, they were gonna fight,
I guess in front of their house.
The girl, Jada, she never came. Like, she never came. I don't know. She just never came. We were just waiting there like dumbasses and all this shit. There's like everybody. If you don't know me, I'm very like talkative and social. Like, I know how to like meet new friends and all this stuff. Like, I'm not afraid to be talking to new people. So at that time when there was gonna be a fight, the two twins invited like 2 of their friends or 3 of their friends. And I was talking to them, and I was just like talking with them because I was like bored waiting. And there was like other people, and I was talking to them. So then I kind of like made friends right there. And then after, they told me like, since this whole thing was like kind of dumb and nobody fought, they told me like, oh, like, do you want to hang out with us? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Because they were gonna go eat. So I was like,
so
they were gonna go eat to like this place called Burger Town. But before that, we went to their house, the 2 twins. They told me, what did they tell me? Oh yeah, that we were gonna go eat, and we were gonna go to Target, and then we're gonna buy some stuff, right? So I was like, oh, okay. Not only that, so it was like the 2 girls, and then it was her friend and her other friend. And there was like, I knew somebody, and it was like, but I knew this guy that was gonna go with us, but he was gonna like be there later on. I don't know, he popped out of nowhere. So then we went to go eat, and then we ate and all that stuff. After that they're like, oh, you want to go to Target? And I was like, oh, I need to go to Target because I need to buy, I think it was like a case for my phone or something, or a charger. And they were like, oh, okay. At that time, I still had my backpack, and before we went to go eat, they told me,
do you want to bring your backpack and just empty it out so you can put our stuff in it?
And I was like, yeah, sure. So I emptied out my backpack, and it had like my laptop, like my papers, my homework. And because they weren't gonna bring any backpacks, so I brought mine. and I just took everything out, and they were like,
Oh, when you come back, just put everything in.
so I did that after we headed to Burger Town, and from we were done eating and we walked to Target. We were walking on our way and they were just like messing around, and we finally got to Target. Since they had like their phone, and like, you know how like girls have like their phones like in their butt, well, like they didn't want their phones to fall because they had to like climb back up. So they told me to hold their phones in my backpack. So I put them in my backpack. When we got to Target, they still didn't have their phones. Like, all of their phones were in my backpack. We went to Target and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go get coffee and I'm gonna go buy my charger. And I had to buy one more thing for like the next day for school. I think it was like lead pencils or something. And so I bought my coffee. They told me that, oh, like they'll be back, that they're gonna go do something at the store, like look for stuff. And I thought they had money. I had money, but I didn't know they didn't have money, or like they did have money, but not everyone had money. Let you know, I only know the two girls from the 6 people. I only know the 2 of them that were the twins, and the rest of them I just met them that day. So like we got to Target and I got a coffee, and then after that I was checking out the lead pencil. I ran into them in the store because they were like, oh, we're gonna be here. They were gonna be at the makeup section, so I already had my lead pencils in my case already.
They were like, oh, Dimitri, do you wanna like booking or something?
Booking was like, what they were saying is like when you steal something from the store and you don't get caught. And I was kind of like scared because I've never like stolen from the store. I told them that I can like buy my lead pencils because it was dead as like $5 or $7. And they were like, come on, blah blah blah. I remembered because I was like, I'm the only one that has a backpack, so like they're smart, you know. So like I was like, shit, like they're the only one that have the backpack. So now I was telling them like, oh, like here, just take my backpack. And they were like, no, like you hold it, there's nothing in it. So then after that, they were like getting a whole bunch of shit. I remember they were getting like carts, and they were getting like makeup, they were getting like skincare stuff, like they were getting a lot of stuff that they really didn't need. They just were like stealing and stuff. And I know this was the 2 other girls, but the twins were like, they didn't want to do it, but they did it anyways. And then my dumbass did too, because follow the leader, you know. They were stealing like a whole bunch of stuff, like makeup, mascara, like skincare, like I don't even
a toothbrush, like all this stuff.
They were holding the Target cards, and like I told them like, oh, like the cameras are like watching us, like you know how like Target's like very secure. So I was already paranoid because I was like we're gonna get caught. And we went to the back. Oh no, we were like walking around because we started getting paranoid. So we were walking around and acting like we were still looking for stuff because we thought like the cameras were like watching us, but they weren't. After that, we went to like all the way in the back in the toilet paper, and that's where we were. And then like they were like, okay, open your backpack. And like they put everything in my backpack, like dead ass everything. And like my backpack was like freaking big. Like it was like have you ever seen like the turtle's back? It was like, that's how full it was from all their shit. And keep in mind, I was only gonna buy like a lead pencil and a case. That's it. Compared to them, that they stole everything. So then I just put my thing in there and I was like, whatever. So meanwhile we were doing that, they were trying to figure out how to fit everything and not make it like obvious that there's shit in our backpack. And I remember I was like sitting down like on the toilet paper, like where the toilet paper stands, and I noticed like somebody was peeking through like the aisle. This is the aisle, right? And somebody was peeking over here, and that an aisle that was like facing us. And I saw someone peeking through the holes, and I told them, I was like, dude, there's somebody peeking through the what is it, like the little holes. And then they were like, oh, it's probably just somebody. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go check, cause I know like my instincts, like I knew it was like somebody was watching us. And then so I went, and it was actually somebody was watching us, and it was like this dude, and he had like an earpiece. He was wearing like all black, like black shirt and like black, and I guess he didn't notice me. And then I walked back and I told him like he has an earpiece and all this stuff. And then I didn't really pay attention to like who it was, but it did look like a security person, but I didn't know. And then so after they put everything in my backpack, and dude, I was like scared, like I was about to shit my pants. And like this person was still staring at us, and I was like, dude, like we're gonna get caught. And they're like, don't say that. So then after that, once we were like all done and like everything was full, like everything fitted inside, we left. So we started heading out to the front. And after that, I remember somebody was behind us, and that was the same guy that was peeking in the back when we were like putting our stuff in our backpack. And I was carrying the backpack, they weren't carrying
Shit, like
everything was on my back. That person was behind us, but not too close. I thought when we were heading out, I thought they were still behind me, or like I don't know, I thought they were behind me, but they weren't. They were in the front. And I remember we were heading out like not fast but fast, and I thought like 2 people were behind me that were like the 2 people that we met, or like the twins or something. But it wasn't, like they were already in front of me and I was the last person back. And I remember like all of a sudden like these people ran towards me, and I thought it was like the people I was with, because that's why I like slowed down a little bit, because I was already near the door. Like the door was right here and I was already right here, like I was already gonna go outside. And then these people like came between me, like a Chinese person and like a white person, and they were like, hey. And then they told me to come with them, like somewhere. So then I went with them, and then I went to the back. So I was at the back, and they took me to like the security room, and like, so I got caught, and I was like, fuck, like shit, I got caught. Like I was like, damn, like I was like, what the fuck, like what, like, you know, like this is happening, you know. And so I went in the back, and then they were telling me like, oh, we were watching you the whole time, return everything that you stole. And then like, so they brought like a shopping cart, and they made me dump everything, and they were telling me like, oh, is that it? And I was like, yeah, looking through everything. And then they were questioning, they were like, why is it girl stuff like makeup and all this shit? And I was like, oh. So I was telling them what happened. I was like, this stuff isn't mine. Like, so what happened was, they're my friends, and I was the one holding everything in my backpack. And then they were like, why would you do that? Like, now you're gonna get in trouble, and they're not gonna get in trouble because they're not here. I returned everything.
they kind of tricked me. They told me, oh,
Like, I didn't know them. Like, I didn't have any of their contacts. But then I remember, before we got there, all their phones were inside my backpack. The only person that didn't have their phone in my backpack was like one of the twins. You tell them to come back. And I was telling them like, I can't, because like I don't know them, like I just know 2. And I was already calling them. I was calling her. She didn't answer. I was like, shit, like I was like, damn. They started getting like, not aggressive, but they were like, what's your name? What's your number? What's your parents' name? This and this. And I gave them like a random ass address, phone number, and like all this stuff. They're like, oh, we're gonna call the cops, this and this. They're like, if they don't come back, you're gonna get in trouble, and we don't know, we can't do anything from there. You have 2 options, either do that or that, it's your choice. And then all of a sudden, someone called me, and then they were like, oh, did I leave my phone there? And then I was like, yeah. And then I was on the phone, and I was telling them like, hey, like he said that if you guys come back, he will let us go. The one of the girls, her name was Reina, the one I didn't know. And then she came back for her phone. 3 minutes passed, and she came back, and she was knocking. The guy was asking her questions, and then she made up like some shit too. I gave her phone, and after that, they were telling us, they kind of tricked us. They said like, who are the other people? We're like, oh, she was saying like they left and stuff, but I think they were still waiting for us outside. Then the other girl came. I forgot the other girl, but I didn't know her. The only ones that didn't come were the 2 twins. They stayed behind. So then she came for her phone too, and she was saying everything she grabbed, and we were like, we returned everything. And he was telling us like, they were like, okay, we're gonna call your parents. I was like, damn, like my mom is gonna beat my ass. Like my mom's crazy. My mom's those crazy Mexican moms, you know? So they started giving me numbers, and I was like, my mom can't pick me up because my mom works late. And like the other 2 girls actually got lucky. One of their moms didn't really care, and like they were saying that that's her sister. Nothing happened to them. But for me, I called my aunt. My aunt came, and she was like disappointed. So I got released and they were still left behind. She took me home and she was getting me in trouble, and then she like pulled my ear. She was like, why would you do that? And then my cousin was like, I knew something bad was gonna happen because we saw you guys walking after school. She dropped me to my house and then she told everything to my stepdad. Then my mom came. Dude, like I got in trouble. The other two people that got left behind, they didn't get in trouble. Like they dead ass, their mom was like, the cops came, they picked them up and they dropped them off and they told them what happened. And nothing further happened. The other two twins that never came in, they acted like the next day when we went to school, like nothing happened. And then I was like pissed because they didn't really care, like they didn't care like what happened to me. So like a week passed by, we're gonna do it again but a different store. And I was like, dude, like I'm not gonna go because like we just got in trouble and I'm not trying to get arrested. Oh yeah, I didn't get arrested, but because somebody came, I got, I guess, waved off. So this is the end of the video. I hope you guys liked the story time. Make sure you guys give a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and we'll be back with another video.